people are after something and they don't know what this elusive thing is, but it's about fulfillment. And it turns out positivity can help us with that life satisfaction. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Organisational Behaviour with Siphiwe Moyo. I'm your host, Spijo, as they call me in South Africa. So today I want to do something very different, right? I always have guests in the studio, and then on the comments on YouTube and some of the comments that I see on other social platforms, people are like, oh my God, your guests are amazing. I'm tired of you guys saying my guests are amazing. I want you guys to say I am amazing. So I'm flying solo today, and I thought I'll just try out this format where I have a conversation with you about a topic that I find very interesting. So I want to chat on the podcast today about harnessing genuine positivity in life and in the workplace. What is genuine positivity? Why do you even have to have that qualifier that's called genuine positivity? And for me, this is interesting. I think in the last few weeks, I've been invited on so many radio stations and TV programs where I was talking about toxic positivity. And it's interesting because now all of a sudden I'm known as this guy who talks about toxic positivity, but that's not really what I'm about. I'm actually a very positive guy. I'm very, very positive. And I wanted to use this podcast entry, therefore, to distinguish between what I call genuine positivity and what in research is called surface positivity, or at least toxic positivity. I'm not a negative person at all. On the contrary, I'm very positive. For goodness sake, I'm a motivational speaker. I go into many conferences and I speak about positivity and I motivate people, so I can never be that negative. But I need to make sure that we understand the difference between genuine and toxic positivity. Maybe to show you a difference, I want to tell you a little bit of a story. So one day, my daughter, who is 14 now, comes back from school, and I ask her, baby, how was school? She says school was fine. And I say to her, just fine. Surely school could be amazing, brilliant. And then she says to me, but Dad, school was not amazing, and it was not brilliant. It was just fine. And it dawned on me when she said that really, I was wrong. I mean, denying or quashing what she was feeling and trying to spin it into this positivity, that was wrong. And I think that's positivity. That's toxic positivity. And I want to just show you the difference between genuine and toxic positivity on this entry. And let's just have a chat about it. And so, Happy New Year! Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you. By the way, in my home country, South Africa, we say Happy New Year or compliments of the season until April. Until April. As long as you've not seen someone for a very long time, if I see you for the first time in March, for the first time in a year in March, it's always going to be Happy New Year. So let's delve into this. I mean, there are so many benefits of genuine positivity. I like research. A part of me is a speaker and a bit of a teacher. But I've found some really interesting research and studies conducted by Lubomsky, King, and Dina in 2005, and some other researchers have found interesting benefits of this idea of positivity, so enhanced well-being. It turns out that if you lean towards positivity in life, it's linked to higher level of life satisfaction. So life satisfaction is an organizational behavior outcome that we study a lot, but what it just means, it means you are satisfied with your life. Have you ever seen people who, no matter how much success they get, they just never get that feeling of satisfaction? Life satisfaction is something we study, and it turns out that positivity can lead to that life satisfaction. It enhances your happiness levels as well, and happiness, not just a hedonic happiness level, but genuine, authentic happiness. So positivity can lead to increased happiness. It can increase your life satisfaction, and it can increase your overall well-being. So it's a good thing for someone to be positive. So positive emotions can therefore lead to that greater sense of fulfillment and contentment in life. Have you ever seen someone, no matter how successful they are, they just never get content? And now they go to clubs and pop bottles and trying to fill this void. Look, if you want to pop bottles, be my guest. But there are some people you can tell that there's a void that they're trying to fill. They buy champagne and they still spill that champagne, spill the entire champagne. And like, why did you buy this thing and then spill it? People are after something and they don't know what this elusive thing is, but it's about fulfillment. And it turns out positivity can help us with that life satisfaction. Secondly, it can improve our physical health. Research suggests that positive emotions can have an impact on physical health, right? So it's beneficial to be positive. It increases our resilience levels. It can enhance resilience, which, as you know, is the ability to bounce back after setbacks. We even have conversations now about bouncing forward, which is that idea that you can do better after setbacks than you did before the setbacks, which is that idea psychologists talk about post-traumatic growth. So there is an ability to just do better after setbacks than you did before the setbacks. So positivity also helps us to increase this resilience. Positive individuals are often better equipped to cope with challenges because they have the ability to reframe, and that's where the magic is. It's the ability to reframe a particular situation, cognitively reframe it, and move towards a better solution and a better conclusion. But it still does not mean I'm denying that I'm feeling discouragement. It doesn't mean I'm denying that I'm feeling fear. I just have the ability to acknowledge it, contain it, and then nudge myself to something better. So I find that interesting because I think that is really the difference between genuine and toxic positivity, and we'll chat about it as we go. Also, positive people have stronger relationships. Isn't it nice to just hang out with somebody who's positive? You know, it plays a crucial role in building and maintaining strong relationships. Nobody wants to hang around with someone who's whining all the time. It can foster the feelings of warmth. When someone is positive, we feel that warmth, that giggly. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. But that positivity also helps us to feel that compassion, right? To feel empathy, and which leads to more fulfilling, supportive connections. And by the way, the research has told us so many times about the power of positive relationships in our lives. We need people who are positive in our lives. And that's why I have so many friends who come here in the podcast who are my genuine friends. And you need deep relationships, but they must be genuine. You know, they must be deep and genuine. Also, positivity enhances creativity and problem solving. When you're feeling those positive emotions, they can broaden your perspective, right? They can enhance creative problem solving and the ability to just think outside of the box. So it's very good to feel that positivity, and can lead to more innovative and more effective solutions. Can also increase productivity and performance. This is one of the arguments that we make to leaders. When we talk about positivity in the workplace, many people think we're talking about this soft, fluffy stuff. But interestingly, we can trace the impact of positivity on certain hard outcomes of organizational behavior. So productivity and performance are hard outcomes. They're not soft outcomes. So we can see the link between positivity and increase in productivity and performance, which is very, very important, because that's what workplaces are all about. Workplaces are not about us singing kumbaya, but they are about increasing productivity and performance. But interestingly, if you can sort out and make sure that there is positivity, it can lead to that higher level of motivation, higher level of engagement, higher level of job satisfaction, which then lead to overall performance. So there's no doubt that there's power in increased positivity. Also, it enhances mental and emotional well-being. Many people in the world are really not emotional competent. They are not aware. They are not even aware of what they feel. One day we're going to make an entry on the podcast about the idea of emotional contagion, and they don't understand that the things that they are consuming and they are taking on and catching on the emotions of others. But if you're hanging around positive people, there is that emotional contagion factor, and we understand that can help our emotional well-being. It can help reduce symptoms of depression, can help improve the symptoms of anxiety, promote better mental health, but that is genuine positivity. And we'll go and chat about those differences a little bit later. So people who have a more positive outlook in life tend to have an increased self-esteem and have a great sense of purpose. Once you have a great sense of, why am I here? What am I doing here? Once you have that great sense of purpose, you also have increased mental and emotional well-being. So it's great. It's amazing. They also live longer. They have a longer lifespan. Studies have shown that individuals with a positive outlook in life tend to live longer. Those positive emotions can contribute to better health behaviors like exercising, eating healthy, and getting enough sleep, which can ultimately increase your longevity. It's the new year. Many of us are back at the gym, which is really, really cool. The regular gym, people are frustrated because we are there and we're not going anywhere. It's January, we'll still be there. But we need to exercise, we need to get enough sleep, and positivity actually helps with that. It improves our decision making, it enhances social support and conflict resolution. When I'm feeling positive, when I get into conflict, I get into conflict with the idea that I want to solve. Can improve academic and work performance. It increases what we call in organizational behavior the happiness contagion. Because really, as I said, positivity is contagious. When we exhibit those positive emotions and behaviors, we positively influence other people around us. One of the most interesting things that we can ever find is that when someone smiles at you, you tend to smile back. That's just how life works. And sometimes, when you approach life and people are grumpy, and when you smile at them, they have no other choice but to return the favor. So we know that, and we know it leads to better coping. So those are the benefits of positivity in life in general. I want to chat quickly about some of the benefits of positivity in the workplace, because we focus primarily on the workplace. So we know that the same research by Lubomsky and others has identified several benefits of positivity in the workplace. So increased productivity, we know, improved teamwork and collaboration. A positive work environment fosters this sense of camaraderie, this sense of cooperation among team members, which is very, very important, because when people do not cooperate, they are competing, particularly they are competing for leaders' attention and so on, and that is dysfunctional in a team. You cannot have people doing that. So positivity then enhances this communication, facilitate trust building, and it encourages collaboration. So it's very, very important to think about that. It reduces stress and burnout in the workplace, improved employee satisfaction, it improves our retention. There's really no doubt that when we are feeling negative in the workplace, that increases our burnout ratio, which then increases employee turnover. We have more turnover intentions when we're feeling burned out and we want to go. Unless obviously there are no jobs, we stick around, but in our hearts we've resigned, so it's not good. It also leads to better customer satisfaction and just benefits of just well-being generally. Hey there, I'm Siphiwe Moyo, the host of this podcast called Organisational Behaviour with Siphiwe Moyo. When I'm not behind this mic, I'm a global motivational speaker. I speak on topics like leadership, motivation, leading change, as well as happiness/well-being. I'm also a team facilitator. I facilitate team engagement session where we're trying to improve workplace and team culture. I've worked with so many organizations, Google, Johnson & Johnson, Hitachi, and many, many more. So if you're ready to take your team to the next level, please shoot me an email on siphiwe@siphiwemoyo.com or just browse my website on siphiwemoyo.com. I'm looking forward to work with you. For now, enjoy the rest of the podcast. So now that I've spoken about the benefits, I want to just chat to you quickly about what then is toxic positivity. I think for me, I don't know if you've watched what is that series? I think it's called The Office, the US version. I think Michael Scott, which I think is played by David Wallace, Or is this boss that is constantly positive in the workplace? Whatever you do, just smile, just smile. I think that's annoying, and that is not genuine positivity. But the psychology group defined toxic positivity as the excessive and ineffective overgeneralization of a happy and optimistic state across all situations. So it results in denial. So when I'm denying the fact that you're feeling negative, minimizing what you're saying and not taking into account what you're genuinely feeling, and also invalidation of that authentic human emotional experience. So that's what toxic positivity is about. So positivity is good, but anything in excess is not good for us. It becomes toxic. So when you disallow somebody to express their genuine feelings, you are being toxic. You are toxic. So what are the signs of toxic positivity? So when we're masking or hiding our true feelings, when you are scared and you don't want to say I'm scared, you have to skirt around the issue and fake some bravado. I think that's toxic. I think there's nothing wrong with saying I'm scared. And when we're trying to have that situation that says, let's just get on with it, when we should be pausing and having a conversation in the workplace that we need to fix. If there's an issue that we need to fix, but we just say, let's get on with it, I think that's dismissing. And I think that's minimizing what people could be feeling. And I think that's quite toxic. When you are minimizing other people's experience, when you are trying to give someone's perspective, but they're not listening. They say to you, yeah, but it could be worse. Yeah, it could be worse, but that's what I'm feeling now. We should never brush off things that are bothering us, A quick, maybe, if you imagine a quick table where we describe toxic positivity on the one hand and we talk about genuine positivity, or what are some of the examples of how you need to validate when someone says something to you. So when you say to someone, don't think about it, just stay positive. What you should be saying, just say, describe what you're feeling. Tell me what you are feeling, and let me see how we can work through it. So when you say, don't worry, just be happy, you are dismissing and you're invalidation. What you should be saying is, I see that you're really stressed. Is there anything I can do to fix this? So when you're saying positive vibes only, do you know those? You know those people are like, positive vibes only. I think that's fine, but when you say to someone, I'm here for you, good and bad, there are certain times where you have to sit with an emotion so that you then gravitate towards solving it. But initially, you have to sit with a particular emotion. If you're going to love me when I'm on positive vibes only, then maybe you're not that genuine a friend. Someone who says, if I can do it, so can you. No, that's not true. Everybody's story, everybody's ability, everybody's limitations are quite different. So yes, we must look for the silver lining, but we must be there for people while they're sitting with the emotions that they're sitting with. So that's very, very important. And we use various ways to distinguish between, that negative, toxic positivity and the genuine one. And for me, as I'm leaning towards the close, I'm not going to make this episode long because I'm alone. I'm alone. No, I'm not sad. But one of the ways to understand cognitive behavioral therapy helps us to process negative emotions a little bit better, because many of the CBD techniques, like what we call the ABC model, for example, says when you are feeling a negative emotion, A stands for acknowledge it. Acknowledge that I'm scared. Acknowledge that I'm fearful. First, don't dismiss that negative emotion. Don't brush it off. Don't minimize it, and don't invalidate it. But once you are there in that ABC model, then you then need to think about finding helpful solutions. Be on the lookout for helpful solutions. You don't sit with that emotion forever, right? In fact, I'm talking about the ACT model. So acknowledge, choose helpful behaviors, then take action. ACT. Acknowledge, choose helpful behaviors, then take action. So choose helpful behaviors once we've acknowledged, because you cannot sit with that thing forever, and then take action towards a better solution. So I think that's better. So in the workplace though, as a leader, a few ideas on how you can cultivate a genuine positivity in the workplace. We can chat after, maybe, if you want me to help you with this, but a few ideas. Firstly, lead by example. When you show that vulnerability, that you are able to embrace negative emotions, that you're able to embrace that vulnerability, that you're able to tell your team that I've made a mistake, that you're able to tell your team, I am scared. This budget or this particular target is making me scared. It doesn't mean you're going to sit with that feeling of fear, but at the moment, I'm scared. When you are doing that, you're giving permission to your team members to also acknowledge their negative emotions when they're feeling them, but then choose helpful behaviors and then eventually take action. But it's very important to demonstrate that it's okay to feel fearful, even though eventually we're going to make sure that we display positive attitude, displaying gratitude, and practicing kindness going forward. But firstly, lead by example in acknowledging them. So foster an open communication. Encourage open and honest communication amongst your team members, creating that safe space, the famous psychological safety for people to admit mistakes, for people to ask questions, to say when they don't know. If you don't create that space, you're going to be in trouble as a leader. And you must pause and recognize achievements. Don't be that type of leader when you only talk to people when they've made mistakes. Acknowledge when people have done well and make noise about it. Encourage collaboration, provide opportunities for growth, and genuinely foster that positive environment where people can acknowledge what they feel, but together we are working towards a solution. Remember, there are certain benefits to fostering and harnessing genuine positivity. It is very important to use methods like CPD therapy, to use mindfulness technique. You can use other ways to provide social support, but it's okay to sit with an emotion a little bit and then gravitate towards a positive emotion. So that's very important. And I thought we'll have that short entry as we start the year about what genuine positivity about. And if you need some help to foster this in the workplace, I'll be happy to have a chat with you. But thank you so much for listening to this particular episode of Organizational Behaviour with Siphiwe Moyo. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, follow us, and share this episode widely. Thank you. I'm out.